Maybe an older one? An older
So,
broadcast or something? I don't know. I'm eating a banana.
it's okay. We need you to have your potassium. We don't need nobody passing out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What y'all do today? Y'all have good days?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I spent a whole bunch of money today.
I was trying to get on it on my computer, Taylor, and the devil was busy too. Something that I have to download Google Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just come back to my phone.
Yeah, it
All
does
kind
that.
of stuff going wrong. It's like, what am I looking at? This is not
Exactly.
the right room. Crazy.
It does that. It made me download Google Chrome on my MacBook.
Yeah, that's what I have, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
One of my computer tech friends is like, yeah, majority of these apps they go off of Google Chrome. I was like, cute.
That's good to know.
Oh, look, I guess we got the memo about the shoulders.
I guess so.
I didn't get it.
Sorry. Sorry.
My shoulders are covered.
Look this down.
But you
Yeah,
got your God is dope, which is,
that's
You're
just
not wrong. You know, I be trying. I don't need to buy another shirt from them. They need to quit texting me. I'm gonna block them at this point because
I had a
they be like, hey Keisha, VIP members get a coin.
Mm-mm.
Alright, we're gonna wait one more minute before we start the show. I totally lost track of time. So because I don't feel good, I just woke up like 25 minutes ago.
Oh no.
And that's why I look like I've been at home because I am.
Mm.
But I love that background.
I know.
Listen, I be trying to get my little backdrops together.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to steal that one. Where you get that one from?
Amazon.
Sure, the
Amazon,
deeds.
oh, Amazon is
Yeah, all my backdrops are from Amazon. I
Yeah.
bought a green screen, so I'm
Okay.
about to get real ridiculous here soon. All right, ladies, that minute is up. Y'all ready to start the show?
Mm-hmm.
In 5, 4, it's hot in here. I got lights on. Whatever. Sup, y'all? You're watching Kicking It with Keish. My name's Keisha Carter, and today's Soul Sunday on Get Vocal at 6 p.m. per usual. Two of my lovely mom, wife, life friends, Mrs. Taylor Garner, and Mrs. Emil Kiote. Ah! Got it right. They're joining me today. First off, welcome and subscribe to my Get Vocal channel as well as my YouTube channel, Kicking It with Keish. Also follow me on Instagram at It's the Keish. Please follow Mrs. Taylor Garner at Taylor_Denise.
Taylor dot.
And Miss
Taylor dot Dennis.
It's not underscore?
Mm-mm. It's okay. It's okay. You'll find me.
Oh, it's Taylor dot Denise.
Yeah.
Even on the promotion I put underscore. Why didn't you stop me?
Okay. I don't think I saw it, but it's cool.
Okay, now I feel bad. God dog it.
We're
Okay,
good.
well, it's Taylor dot Denise. I've been corrected. I'm so sorry, Taylor. As well as Mrs. Samira Cote at Royal_Palm. She's the one with the underscore. I'm gonna get my life together. Next show, I promise, Taylor, I won't mess up again.
It's cool.
Now, business promotion today. The business promotion for today's episode is called Runway Lashes by Miss Tamara. I'm going to show you guys her business card first. I'm going to do my hand in the back. This is how YouTubers do it.
Nice.
Boom. That's her card. And Runway Lashes, obviously, they have an airplane theme. She has an airplane theme lash line. And her Instagram is at @shop_runway_lashes. @shop_runway_lashes. And she has little aviation lashes. I know. And the winner of today's episode,
And the
whatever
guest.
question we decide to come up with, you guys get to go on the shop one way _ lashes Instagram and pick a pair of lashes, and we will gift you with those lashes today. I will show y'all the ones I have. I should have had a pair on today, but I don't. I'm gonna do better, I promise. So this one is called. Can you see it? Tailwind.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's called Tailwind. And this one is Carry On.
Mm-hmm.
These lights. Oh, there we go. This one's Carry On. And this one is Turbulence. I can't wait to put these bad boys on.
That's drama.
Right. Exactly what Turbulence gives you.
Right.
And this one is called Crosswind. There we go.
Those are cute.
So Crosswind and Turbulence, she has way more, but I only got these 4. I only have these 4. But again, whoever wins today's question of the episode, you will receive a free pair of Shop Runway lashes. And they, of course, come in these cute little bags. These are so cute.
Yeah, that is. That's super cute.
When I say marketing genius, of course, one-way lash for my lashes in a luggage case.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. But again, her Instagram is at Shop Runway _ lashes, and that is with an S. Her name is Miss Tamra. And yeah, either go look on her page and enjoy the. I'm gonna get better at this whole YouTube thing. Is that how they do it? There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. You can't put your hand behind stuff. That's wild. Anywho, whoever wins today's question of the episode will receive a pair of free lashes. Now, today's show. Oh wait, I'm always accepting business promotions, just like Shop Runway Lashes. So if you have a business to promote, please send me an email and let's get you promoted on my show. As well as, I am an independent contractor, and just like you tip your amazing servers, go ahead and tip your amazing web show host and podcaster by clicking the blue diamond somewhere on your screen. You see a blue diamond with a V in the middle. Send me some V coins, and not to mention again, tip your favorite podcaster. Now, our show quote today. Which one of y'all want to read the show quote?
Taylor can because she looks so beautiful. She can do it. I threw you out there, girl. I'm sorry.
Today's show quote is, a good marriage isn't something. Oh, wait. Is that the right one?
That was last week.
That's the one that I have right here.
Go on, Keisha, take it away.
You have to do it because
No, Samira, you got it.
That's the only one I have.
You looking at it?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'm actually not.
All right, great. So I'll read it.
Okay.
Today's show quote is, communicating with a toddler is difficult. It's like trying to explain what the color 4 smells like.
That is.
And that kind of threw me. I was reading it and it kind of threw me for a minute. But toddlers are difficult. I think up to the age of about 6. I only know because I have nieces very close to. But up to the age of about 6, yeah. They're cute before they can walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, that's when your trials and tribulations come.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You two are the moms here.
You're right. You're right. You're right on track.
I haven't made it to the walking and talking stage yet. I'm still at the holding in the arm stage, so I'll keep you posted on it.
Oh yeah, Taylor, how old is Paxton?
He is 4 months old.
Okay, so Taylor has a son named Paxton. He's 4 months. And Samir, how old is your baby?
He's 2. He'll be 3 in January.
Uh-oh.
So he's made his appearance.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, have a seat. Yes.
Mommy.
Okay. Mommy is all I hear these days. Taylor, be
Mhm.
prepared because what's the show, like Family Guy? We thought it was funny when we saw it on there where he kept going. I experienced that on a daily.
Oh wow.
Good luck.
Good luck.
He came in and Kevin was like, "No, nah, no, okay, what y'all doing, Mom? I need you."
All you saw was hair right here.
Right, Mom. I don't care what they talk about, Mom. So yeah, let's keep going. Today, the topic of our show is mom, wife, life. So Taylor and Samia will be explaining to us and giving us insights on how to be a millennial wife. You guys are millennial wives, right?
Yes.
Considered millennial wives.
Mhm.
Not how to be millennial wives, but give us insights on being millennial wives and new moms. Granted, Samia's baby is 2, but she's still a new mom because she got married around the same time, not too long after her and her husband had. What is his name?
But Ash is
Ash. I was like, his name, it was SH I kept seeing. I didn't want to call him Josh. His name is Ash. So Samil has Mr. Ash and Taylor has Mr. Paxton. Now, what were some of you guys' mom fears? If you had to put top 2 mom fears.
I think for me, it's just not being available or not being there if my son were to need me. You know, him being vulnerable and not having, you know, me or anybody to protect him. You know, I think that's one of the biggest fears for a lot of moms is just not being able to be at all places with their kids. So that's the number one fear for me. I think all others you're able to kind of work through, but that one, you know, can pertain to any situation. You know, them just being in a position of being vulnerable and not having mommy or daddy to be there.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that because, especially with me having a brand new baby and then trying to go back to work, that's a big thing. Like, you know, you have to go to work every day because you've got to make money, but in the back of your mind, it's like, I really just want to make sure that my child is safe and that I'm, you know, able to be there to support him. But for me, another fear was just the whole childbirth process. Honestly, like, that was intimidating. Like, and then to have him during the pandemic too was like, my mom couldn't be there. Like, it was just me and my husband. We were thugging it out in the hospital. And that's when you're having a baby for the first time, that is scary to say the least. So I think everything in the beginning was a fear because it was all unknown. Like, you fear the unknown because you just don't know what to expect. So
makes sense. So did y'all have any fears about pregnancy itself? I know me, for one, let me go ahead and put out there, I have horrible pregnancy fears because not only I have pregnancy fears that are reasonable because not only am I diabetic, I'm a diabetic. Like, that's the only fear I have that involves pregnancy. When you mix those two together, it's kind of like, oh, and for sure me being black. So I'm black and a diabetic. So as a black woman, I already have one health issue standing against me. And to add pregnancy and another life on top of that, I'm gonna be honest with all of y'all. I am scared to ever be pregnant.
that's understandable. Like, completely understandable.
Now, granted, I understand. I know the God we serve, and miracles happen, and you know, I have to reposition and not only read the negative stuff about pregnancy. I mean, you are creating a life and all of this, but then, like, I've had depression issues in the past, and people underestimate the postpartum issues that come along with pregnancy. And I wasn't pregnant when I had my depression issues. Granted, please let's not add, oh, I just created a life on top of my depression issues. I did not. It wasn't a good feeling.
Yeah.
So did y'all have any pregnancy scares? Or I guess pregnancy concerns. I wouldn't say scares.
Well, like I didn't have him during the pandemic or anything. There wasn't anything, new going on in the world, but I can relate to Taylor when it comes to being alone. Like my family's all in Texas and I'm here in Georgia, and it was just me, my husband, and us, and so that was tough because, you always imagine like your mom being there or family for support. So for me, that was really tough, going through all of that, which was new. And I wish, a lot of the things that I know now about preparedness and readiness and all these alternatives and options and, having specialists like doulas and just, having people to advocate for me, I wish I had known those things, then, because I was in a position where I was vulnerable and, things weren't progressing the way I imagined they would, because I had a smooth pregnancy. Like, I worked the entire time. There was no need for me to ever really call out. I was eating, right, and being active. I wasn't, and not saying that if you don't do those things, you're lazy, but I'm just saying that I was very active throughout my whole pregnancy. And so it was a point where it was time to go. We were in labor, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake because, I've been doing this, and this. And it was very humbling because, I was there and things went south. I'll say that. And that was a scary moment for me because I was on a time crunch. And, it was like I had to make a decision so quickly. And, but I did take a moment, I did pray, and I'm like, God, please show me if this is the right decision. And if I make this decision, can you just be with me the entire time? So it did cause for an emergency C-section. And, my baby's here, and he's healthy, and he was healthy when he was born, and I was okay, But I definitely know that fear of not having a voice to advocate for you, and, just being in a position where they will ignore you, when you say you're in pain, because out for the first couple of days, they had stopped me from having visitors. And they couldn't really figure out, I guess, why I had a fever. I wasn't sick. I didn't have the flu or anything, but I was just in a weird position. But I had told them a couple of times, like, this doesn't feel okay, and there were responses like, oh, it's fine. This is normal, especially having a surgery. You will experience some pain. But after, raising my voice a little bit, someone did come and we were able to resolve those situations. So other than that, I didn't have any scares, but, being in that moment of people not really listening the way they should have, was very scary.
Yeah.
I think for me, during my pregnancy, I started off with the school district having a certain insurance that I was on, and it was like changing from, one year to the next. So I started off with a Black OB-GYN, which was amazing. And she, listened to my concerns. She was an amazing doctor, but then my insurance changed meant I had to pick another OB-GYN because I couldn't continue to see her with the network or whatever. So I moved to a doctor. She was still a minority, but, I was kind of concerned about that. But the whole entirety of my pregnancy, similar to Samil, was really smooth. I didn't have many issues. The worst of it was some, hip pain that I had to get some cortisone shots in my hips and, stuff like that. And then low iron because I'm anemic. So my iron was extremely low. I had to get like iron infusions, but I mean, those things weren't terrible to me. It wasn't like life-threatening for me, and Paxton was fine, so it was like, okay, we're good. But in the hospital, I think every Black woman has that feeling, and I didn't have any scares in the hospital, and I didn't, thank God, I didn't have to do a C-section. But the doctor was trying to progress me a little faster than I was ready for, and I had to kind of like talk to my husband and be an advocate for myself. Like, no, I'm not going to. They wanted to break my water, and then give me a epidural after that. And I'm like, okay, can we just do the epidural first and like let that do what it's going to do? As soon as you break my water, it's going to be like it's going to start moving. And I'm not going to be able to handle the pain of that. And then you're going to tell me, oh, it's too late. And now I have to push out a baby naturally. And I'm not interested in that. Okay? I'm not interested in that. Like, I don't want to prove nothing to nobody. I'm not trying to be Superwoman. I don't need that. I need an epidural. Okay? So, I had to advocate for myself. And then the rest of the process was very smooth. Thank God we were there for 2 days. And then we came home. But, I mean, pregnancy in itself is very scary because your body is doing something you've never experienced before. if it's your first pregnancy, and you got to be in tune with all of it. Your entire, whatever your body's telling you, you got to listen to it. So I can understand the fear for sure.
Yeah.
Now, as far as C-section and natural birth, did you ladies get to pick which one you wanted?
Yeah, having a C-section was not even at the forefront of my mind. Like, I really prepared I assumed that I would be able to do this naturally. I didn't imagine having to do that because, like I said, there was no reason to. I didn't have any complications. There was no, I wasn't high risk. Just, nothing that would be a reason for someone to want to get a C-section or need to get one. So, like Taylor said, I started to feel rushed because and that's when I'm like, okay, I'm want to wait. My baby's going to come because my water broke on its own. Everything was going so smoothly. That's why I was convinced that, this would be smooth, but a little bit like Taylor with the doctor switching. It wasn't necessarily that the doctor switched, but I had a doctor in the hospital that was not my doctor. And I wasn't even notified that my doctor, who I've been going through this whole journey with, who knows what I want, who knows me, who's gained a relationship with me, I didn't know that she wasn't going to be there. So that was scary for me as well. But like that wasn't a choice that I wanted to make. But at the moment that I made it, it was like I had to especially save my child.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I wanted to try and do natural birth, not natural with no drugs, but I knew I didn't want a C-section because I knew the recovery time would be a lot more difficult. And so it ended up working out how it was supposed to, but our nurse she was like a voice of reason. She kind of started off a little, like her bedside manner was a little off to me. I thought she was a little dry. But when the doctor came in and was kind of like push things along, she let him leave. And she's like, I'm not a doctor, I'm your nurse. But I think you should wait. Don't let them break your water until you get your epidural, and you wait till the last minute to get the epidural. Like, let yourself labor naturally as much as possible. And then when you feel like, okay, I'm thinking this is going to go to a point of no return, then you tell them you want the epidural. And that's exactly what we did. And I'm grateful that it happened that way because she said the hospital has a high rate of C-sections. So if I hadn't listened to her and listened to the doctor, it's very, very probable that I would have been in a C-section before it was all over. So,
and I learned recently that doctors get paid more when they perform C-sections. It's like I fully understand. You're a doctor, you're gonna make your money whether I'm here or not. But please don't try to make your extra on the fact that I don't want to be cut open.
Right.
Now, granted, like Samil said, if there was any issue with the health of my baby, go ahead. Mm-hmm. I'll take that. Go ahead. I'll take that precaution and do what I need to do. But that's wild to me that doctors get more. They push C-sections harder than they push natural births just because they're getting a couple extra dollars from it, and that's ridiculous.
Yep.
So I know, Samil, you did not have Mr. Ash in the middle of a pandemic, but Miss Taylor, you did, and now I know you two only have one. Both of you only have one child. You both have sons, and so you can't compare it to anything else. But Taylor, what's one thing that you feel like giving birth in the middle of a pandemic took from you as having a regular hospital experience as a mom?
Well, like you said, I don't really have anything to compare it to in terms of like the actual delivery process, if you will. But just leading up to like March was when everything in Houston shut down, and I had him in May. So I had 2 months where I'm like sitting at home kind of doing nothing, and I was so upset that I couldn't do like the makeup artist and the hair to do maternity photos and stuff like that. Like my maternity shoot was kind of canceled. And we kind of worked something out, but it wasn't at all what I had planned for it to be. And then actually having my birthing experience, I just think it's so the opportunity for our family and friends to be there to witness it. and to experience it with us, like whomever would have been able to come, or like I would have loved for my mom to be there, and it was just me and Thomas, just that was it. So I mean, in a way that was good because we were able to establish like our family unit and just kind of like take time to check on each other. But I don't know. I would have preferred to have my mom there and his mom there too, if anything else.
Okay. Now, how are you two? How was there any tips you can give, or are there any tips you can give on how to balance being a mom and a wife?
You see me over here constantly. Now you said, are there any tips that we can give moms?
Yeah, how to balance being a mom and a wife, and life in general. So before we answer that question, let's talk about finding time for yourselves as moms. The importance of self-care while being a mom.
Oh, one of the notes that I had wrote down, I think it's super important to just make sure that you have that voice still, or your voice and your identity. People talk about it all the time, and people like, oh, I'm not going to get, consumed with being a mom, being a wife, but it's so easy to, especially when you have, children who are active and they want to be a part of things. And then, especially when you're a new wife, a new mom, there's just so much to easily get consumed with. And so I think for me, it's just now, like my son is 2, I'm just now at a place where I'm gaining my confidence back. Like, I never imagined that Samil would go through a point where she was not confident or not, just out there with expressing her talents. And I had gotten very insecure about who I was, as an artist. Yes, baby. I had got very, insecure about those things. Okay, go ahead and sing. And so now I feel like I'm really getting back into the groove of working, far as entrepreneurship, because I do work a job as well, but, making sure that within film and production, which is the reason why I moved to Georgia initially, that I'm fulfilling that dream. I always want to move back to Texas, and Texas is a dream. Like, I would love to live there, especially being with my family, but I feel like it's super important for me to make sure that I've crossed all the T's here in Atlanta. Like, this is the new mecca for arts and entertainment. And, it's just super important for me to make sure I make my mark here. So with that being said, I'm just saying that it took me literally 2 years, to really just get back in the groove. And I think it's important that moms realize that, it's okay if you do snap back into the routine, but if you don't, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself, because it's not an easy process. Mentally and physically, your whole body makeup is just out of whack. It's new. Everything is changed, so you just have to really be patient with yourself. So that would be the advice that I would give new moms, and especially artsy moms. It's not gonna just happen. Take the time and be patient.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, especially being 4 months postpartum. Like, everything, the first 2 weeks, I was like, what is this? Like, what in the world? What did I do? Why did I do this? Like, it was a struggle because I'm like, my life is going to change. I'm not going to be able to go and be as free and just go and do what I want to do. Like, I have this person that's depending on me, literally like tethered to me. And so that was a struggle for like the first 2 weeks. I was like, man, I didn't even feel like myself. Like, who am I? Now, I'm going to say maybe within the first 2 months or so, things were like, I'm still trying to get back to that place. And then, now I'm starting to kind of feel like myself again. And I'm starting to kind of still, like the things that I used to like and get back into those things. But I can totally understand it being 2 years until I feel ready to dive back into something that I once considered a passion, because you have somebody new that literally depends on you. And your body, like you said, something has changed. Things are just different, Not that they're bad, because you love your baby and you wouldn't change anything for the journey, but you understand, like, it's not the same. Things are not the same. And I need to give myself grace to grow in where I am now and say, hey, eventually I'll get to where I'm comfortable, but right now I'm just not the same person I was.
Yeah.
And being a mom, I wouldn't say misplaces you, but it puts you in a different place, not a misplace. It puts you in a different place of self-realization and growth. Because I see new moms all the time that change from who they were before they were a mom. And it's like as soon as they learn how to deal, or while they learn how to deal with postpartum and everything that comes with being a mom, the person that they are, that they go to be after the self-realization and the molding into the life change is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
appreciate
yeah.
the change too, because the person that you were before was very like selfish. And speaking for myself, it was me and my husband, and that's it. That's what I was concerned about. Like, what we going to eat, what we gonna do, it's us. But then now that you have something else that's way more important than you and like way more impactful than you, it's like I need to make sure that everything in his life is amazing. And I'm the person that if I'm not okay, I can't make anything okay for him. So I got to make sure that I'm at least okay enough to give him what he needs, or her, or whatever race or sex your child is. You want to give them the best, and it makes you change from the inside, because you can't give your child the best if you're not, doing well yourself.
I was just gonna say too, like, far as a lot of people speak on postpartum depression, but there's also postpartum anxiety. Like, just being super anxious about everything. I know for me, it was a while before I even felt comfortable driving with him in the car with me. And people don't realize, like, that may seem like, what, and I just imagine, like, if I were a single mom, how hard that would be for me to, try to take him to the doctor or try to even go to the grocery store because I'm so scared about just being in the car. And, I have a best friend who is a doula now, and who's just very involved in childbirth and, helping Black moms and moms, period, with those transitions. And it was just so many times where she was like, it's going to be okay. Take your time. There's just so many transitions that you're constantly going through that you don't even realize, and I just feel like, how Taylor said, just being gentle with yourself and just realizing that, all of this is new and this is a new person. And just as much as you don't know you think that you don't know what you're doing, they don't even know how to be a human. They don't even know how to communicate. They don't even know how to do anything. And so they're totally relying on you. So it's just like making sure that you're getting the help that's necessary. If it's talking to somebody, even if it's talking to your mom, or if you feel like you need to speak to someone that's an outside source, as far as a therapist or a counselor, like, don't be afraid, because what you don't want to do is find yourself in a position where you're stuck or you're, vulnerable, or just whatever the case may be. So, like, I would definitely just encourage new moms to always feel comfortable seeking help.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. So while you and your husbands were getting ready for the baby to come, what were some of the big excitements that they had about, for sure, about having sons?
Mine was excited about everything, like every little thing we added to the nursery. He was excited about, like, he's excited to buy him Dallas Cowboy stuff. And, I mean, literally everything. And it's interesting now to see how much that has evolved, and it's kind of continued to grow, because like I can tell that my son looks at his dad and he's just like, man, like the excitement of his dad is like, I can see it. So I'm like, I love that, because I know what my husband, how he felt about him coming into the world, and now that he's here, you can still see that continue, and it's like, it feels amazing just to know, that communication is there, even though he can't talk. It's like they're two peas in a pod, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't get jealous now, because it's going.
Girl, I already know.
At one point, I'm like, what? How you clinging? How y'all so close? Like, he slept on his dad literally every night, like the whole beginning of his life. And I'm like, I'm the one that feeds you. I'm the one, like, exactly, you know. But I did have to realize it's super important. And now, you know, you just realize now how important father and son relationships are. And just as much as a mom and son relationship or a mom and daughter relationship starts early, theirs start early as well. But I mean, like Taylor said, the excitement was definitely there to have a son. Even at our gender reveal, like, of course, we would have been happy to have a girl or a boy, but the excitement was just, you know, over the top to realize that we would have a boy. And, you know, I mean, having a first son, you know, in our culture is very important too. You're able to carry the name of your family on. So it's just a very, like, crazy, just amazing experience when you have a son. I mean, a daughter too, but it's just so much that comes with the son. Like, if you have a girl next, then you got big brother, you know. It's just awesome. So.
Yeah, that's true. And my husband was is the last Garner. Technically, he's the last person with the last name Garner. So if he didn't have any sons, the last name Garner would stop at him. So he was the name carrier. So it was like tension, like, you gotta have a boy. So when they found out it was a boy, they were like, "Why?" You know, Garner continues. So I totally understand that.
And you know, they be high-fiving the dads when the wife have a son, because they're like, oh, she a good one, she's strong, she gave you a son. I'm like, oh my God, y'all are too much.
Mm-hmm.
So now, granted, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Whenever I do have children, because of the whole selfish thing that one of you just brought up a minute ago, that's the reason I don't want a little girl. Like, I'd rather deal with, and I know, watch, it's gonna be just my luck, it's gonna be a little girl. And whenever I do get pregnant, because I'm not pregnant right now, let me just let everybody know. But it's that selfish thing. Like, I don't want to have to. I fully understand sharing a son with my husband. That's his son. Great. I do. I guess because my nephew is the youngest of my nieces and nephews, and I guess, like, he's very close to me. I don't know if y'all see me joke about him all the time. He's very close to me. And so boys are nasty, but they're easier than girls. And I fully know that I was a diva because my mom is. So raising another one is like, oh, I gotta pay for both of our meals. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you want a purse too? They don't even make goodies in your size. That's wild that
you don't have a clue. I'm the same way. And I was like, Lord, you don't understand. I was super like, Lord, I do not want a girl. Now that I have a son, I'm like, okay, I could have a girl and then I could just be doing clothes shop. We good. We got our 2 kids. We done. Yeah. But then I was just like, Lord, I need a boy because this girl is she's gonna wear me out, and I'm gonna be ready to fight her. Like, I don't want to do it, but I
don't want to deal with a younger me. I'm a handful. I know I'm a handful. I don't want to deal with a smaller version of Keisha because low key, I should be smacked 50% of the time. And
oh wait. She went out right when she said I should be smacked. Okay.
I should be smacked 50% of the time. For me to have a smaller Keisha, that doubles it by 2, and that means.
But let me warn both of you, because yours still months and yours is in Bangum, as my granny would say. But to have a boy and they have a personality like yours, though, or a big personality, is still a challenge too. Because my son, as you guys can see, feels like he's gonna come up here and take over the show. Like, he has a big personality, says hi to people, you know, and that's when I'm like, okay, you supposed to be chill like your daddy. Like, why are you trying to be like me? Like, don't do that. I don't want that, because that's supposed to be with the girl that comes later.
Right. And watch the girl be opposite. The girl will be like her daddy and be like, oh,
I'll be like, ooh, she's supposed to be like me.
And then they say the way dads cling on to daughters now. I'm a full daddy's girl. And so to have to share my husband with, granted, it's not just another woman. Like, we serve 2 different roles in my husband's life. I'm his wife, she would be his daughter. But like, move.
Yeah.
Around.
You be interesting if I have a daughter. I'm gonna be interested to see because I'm like, she'll have my husband wrapped around her finger. I already know it. Like,
and Paxton does a good job. Paxton does a good job of that now.
yes. Oh gosh, yes.
Let either of you guys have, because both of your husbands are very active in y'all's marriage and y'all's children's lives. Let either of you have a daughter, and you need to scoot over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what are some other mom points you guys mom, wife, life points that you guys want to hit on our episode today?
I think one thing that I read somewhere, I'm in a lot of mom groups. It's like as soon as you become a mom, everybody wants to add you to the Facebook group, the group meet, the text chat, and you just like, Lord. But it is interesting to see what types of roles those groups serve in your life. Because I'm in one group and a lady was asking the other day, what are some mom hacks that people have? And a lady responded and said, I drop my clothes off at a wash and fold service, and I have a housekeeper that comes twice a month. Well, that's the way I survive being a mom. And the takeaway from that is not to be, extravagant and have people do stuff for you, but it is to say that if you need to outsource to keep your sanity, do that. Like, don't run yourself into the ground trying to be everything, especially if you know there are some things that you are not strong in and you just need somebody to help you with them. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if somebody in your family wants to come and help around the house and do laundry every, so often and you pay them, that's fine. But whatever the thing is that you need help with the most, don't be afraid to ask for help or to pay for help to get it done. Still be present in your child's life however you need to be, but understand that your child and your husband or your significant other, you're not gonna win the award because you've worn yourself down so much. Like, nobody wants a person in their life like that. They don't want a mom and a wife like that. So give yourself the chance to be the best that you can be by doing what you can do and then letting everything else be handled however you need to get it handled. If it doesn't put any stress on you, pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you need to do to give yourself that chance to just grow.
Yeah. Now, granted, grocery delivery service has been amazing in my life. Amazing in my life. I don't have no kids.
That grocery pickup is my friend, okay? Place the order.
I ain't done it yet, but I've heard great things about Instacart and all them.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Samir?
Everything that Taylor said, of course, but I was also, the self-care. People talk, even people that aren't mothers talk about it, these days. But one thing that Taylor said about moms feeling like if the more I'm worn out or the more I'm doing and wearing myself out, then I win this award. Like back in the day, moms really thought that, or it seemed like they, believed that if they did everything, then they were going to be praised. But a lot of times the children go on and forget about those mamas, so don't lose yourself in those roles. Like I said in the beginning, like you're learning, you're growing together. And take the time, if it's getting your nails done, if it's getting a massage, which I got a couple of weeks ago. When I say it was 2 hours. I got my feet massaged for an hour, and then I did the full body deep tissue massage, and I did not realize how tense I was because I take the baby to school, then go to work, then pick him up from school, and then we're in traffic for an hour. Yes, traffic for an hour. And then we're trying to get home and get things together, and so I was just super tense. But after I got the massage, I felt so new. Like I was literally on a cloud. Nobody could make me mad. Nobody could get on my nerves. But I realized that, okay, I need to definitely incorporate this in my monthly, if not weekly, routine because it was definitely necessary. So I say all that to say, like, do things for yourself, even if it's going to Target. When I first had him, that was my getaway. Like Target was right across the street from our house. So I would walk to Target and just literally walk around and look at the clothes and just have my moment, on FaceTime, talking to whoever, just being in the moment of Target. And people are like, what? But it was good for me. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't need the bar. I didn't need a restaurant. Like Target was good. I got my pretzel, my popcorn, and then I was okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
Target is a dangerous place for moms and single women,
Hmm.
unmarried women, I
Yeah.
say, because
For
I
women
don't
here.
get the same joy. I don't get the same joy in Walmart.
No.
I go to Walmart, I'm like, oh, it's Walmart. And Target, I'm like, I turn like 15 times bougie. I'm like, we're going to Target.
Yep.
I'm going to Target. And if you go into Target without a list, just say bye to whatever budget you had, because
With a list, I saw a post that was like, "You don't go in Target looking for stuff. You let Target tell you what you need." Basically.
That's what happens all the time, honestly.
Now, Samil, your son's name is Ashton. Taylor, your son's name is Paxton. How did you guys pick your children's names?
Well, I originally wanted his name to be Pat, and my husband was like, "You're not naming my child Pax," and I was like, "Okay." So, and the reason why is because Pax is peace, like it's the Greek word for peace. So, I wanted just him to be named Peace, and he was like, "No, we're not going to name him Pax." So then I was like, "Okay, Pax, how can I make that still be his name?" And then I just, was kind of looking and saw Paxton with the TON at the end, and it still kind of translates to like a place of peace or a peaceful town. And so I'm like, you know what, that's cool. That's what his name is going to be. Originally, though, we had planned in our mind that our first son was going to be named Thomas because all of the men on his dad's side are named Thomas, and they just have a different middle name. So, like, his dad's name is Thomas, his great and great grandfather's names are Thomas. They just have different middle names. But as I see him now, I'm like, no, he wouldn't have been a Thomas anyway. You look at your kid and you're like, that wouldn't have been you. So we just made that decision, and it was like, that's what we want to do. He's still a Garner, so that's how we chose his name.
Well, I think for me, like how everybody combine their kid's name, with the daddy and the mama, but his dad's name is Ashley, and I'm Samil, of course. And so taking the first 3 letters of his name and then trying to get that meal in there somewhere. So it's just like Ashmael. And his middle name, which is Ni Afutu, which means firstborn son, and Afutu is king in my husband's language. So his name is very powerful. And, I came up with different renditions or different, combinations of the name. And we finally settled on that one. And I definitely feel like it does fit him. You wonder about that, before your child comes in the world, like, are they going to step? Okay. Are they going to step into what their name means? And I feel like, as you can see, he's very demanding, and he's very authority. Like whenever he goes into places, like his facial expressions and everything, like he definitely owns the space that he's in. So I already see like his name and his personality coming together. Like those things definitely matter when you're naming your children. And to give him a name such as King, is awesome. So he definitely has that power and fire already in him. And I'm not necessarily mad about it. Like I don't get upset when he tells or, lets people know what he needs or what he wants. Of course I'll make sure it's respectful, but I think that's a part of, character and being able to walk into a space and not feel like you're a visitor or not feel like you don't belong there. So I'm excited to see how that goes, though. But yeah, that's pretty much how we named him.
That's great. So, how long are you guys? Now, I know technically you just had Paxton 4 months ago, so I know it's probably, I don't know if you thought about it or what, but how much time are you ladies giving yourselves before we try child number 2? Taylor's face was like, adopt.
Lord, girl.
I mean, for me, I think like whenever.
Okay, I think we were trying to make sure he was like, well, because I'm 30, I turned 30 in August, so I'm like, I just want to kind of be done with it, like before 35, if possible. The Lord might have different plans for me, but I would like to go ahead and have my second one, within the next, I'm gonna say, like after next year sometime, I'm good. So anytime after that, I'm good. After he's one, and it's a little bit more like, not just like a little sack of flour, because now he's just like, you just set him somewhere. Yeah. So once he starts kind of moving around a little bit more, then we'll probably try, after that.
Definitely. Like I wanted Ash to be able to, like you said, to be somewhat of a big brother. Like now he can help me carry groceries in the house and things like that. So okay, he's stuck in the chair. You showing out. But yeah, I definitely wanted to just make sure he could be able to, be a big brother. So I think now is he's about to be 3 in January. So hopefully by 5 we'll be able to have number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. Y'all's little families are so cute. All right, guys, we're coming to the end of the episode. Now, our question for the episode for you guys to win these amazing lashes is, what is the name? Now, I purposely said it like 10 times each, y'all. So what is the name? What are the names of Samil and Taylor's sons? I literally said them like 10 times. An episode, 10 times in this episode, and purposely. So, there we go. I literally said them purposely like 10 times each. So, if you can, comment below or comment in the comment section, Taylor and Samil's son's names, you will win a pair of free lashes from Shop Runway Lash, as well as if you are a man watching and you know the names and you comment them, I'll just send them for whoever you want to give them to. I mean, or if you want to wear them yourself, they're gender neutral. Gonna pop you on some tailwinds. Pop you on some tailwinds. But anyway, this comes to the end of our episode. I really enjoy having Mrs. Samil Cote and Mrs. Taylor Gardner on my show. So, of course, within the next couple of weeks, you will see them again. I do have to announce that this is my last show on the Get Vocal platform because as a Black woman, you have to be very protective of what's yours and what you're trying to build. And I just don't want my brand not to be receiving what I know it could receive. Although Get Vocal has been great, I am taking my show onto Facebook Live and or another platform. And I go back to the sky. I go back to flying next week. So 9 times out of 10, my amazing shows from now on will possibly be pre-recorded. And that's even better for the 2 moms and my guest list over here, because we'll be able to do pre-recorded shows if they ever guest with me again. And not at Sunday at 6 p.m. live. Because it's been a lot of experience. All of it's been great. Again, please follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my YouTube, Kicking It With Keish. Follow me on Instagram at InstaKeish. And I also have a fan page on Facebook, Kicking It With Keish. All of the updates for my show will be there. New videos, new skits, new comedy related things. Also, as soon as the world opens back up, I will be doing amateur night at Stand Up Comedy Club. So please look forward to that as well. I will keep you guys posted. And that's it. We still don't have a comment for these names. So if you know the name, or send them to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Send me the names on Instagram and you'll be fine. I'll send you these lashes. But that's about it, guys. You're watching Kicking With Keish. My name is Keisha Carter. This is Mrs. Samil Cote. And this is Mrs. Taylor Garner. And we kicked it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.